Hey guys, welcome to Isaiah's Reviews, and today the Shark ION Rocket Stick Vac, cordless lithium powered, will go up against a corded Shark Navigator. Now this corded traditional Shark Navigator I've had for a really long time. The suction is super stout. It's the strongest suction I've ever had on a corded vacuum cleaner ever, and I've owned every one of them, we'll just say that. And it's pretty stout, like it's overly stout, like it can almost damage your carpet. That's how hard it sucks. So the ION Rocket is very affordable because it's not in their Duo line. Their Duo line, actually, if you look at the past vacuum review that I did the Eureka Plush Roll, which is like a sweeper broom, which is an awesome tech. I like that idea a lot. It's a big old plush roll like a paint roller, and it just grabs everything and just sucks it right up into it. So it's better than a broom and dustpan for sure. It's better than a vacuum cleaner that you switch over to hardwood or something where the roll stops turning. This is actually making contact with things and it won't damage your hardwoods and stuff. But that's the Eureka one, and that's also the Shark Duo one. It has a smaller roll like that in the front, and then it has a brush roll right behind that for agitating carpet, and then it'll suck up into it. I personally think you should have one designated for one or the other so that you can get the utmost power out of that device possible, because I don't think we're at the point to replace traditional vacuum plug-in powered vacuum cleaners. And I'm going to try to do a test today to try to maybe prove that, but also to showcase the progression of Shark and their lithium stick vacs, because I think they're really ahead of the curve. Dyson has stopped complete engineering, new age engineering on traditional plug-in vacuums. They've shifted all their engineering over to cordless lithium-powered vacuums. So we won't see anything new from Dyson on the corded side, but we'll see some innovations coming from battery. So I think we're a couple years away from actually being able to completely replace your traditional plug-in vacuums, which is awesome. But I think Shark's got the power down, and they're inching their way to that direction. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my old handy dandy, which I do love this thing. This was the most powerful one on the market at one point in time, but this is the Hoover Lynx. It takes a rechargeable big old battery like this, and the runtime on this one and the Shark ION Rocket was the same. Got about 15 minutes or so, and you got down to the last blinky light about almost 12 minutes, 11 minutes to 12 minute mark on both. So that was cool. And what I did was, before I get ahead of myself, what I did was I vacuumed the entire house, my entire carpet, with the Hoover Lynx vacuum. I know what it can do. I know that it does topical and about halfway down into the carpet, and that's what you're going to get out of that. And normally what I do on a routinely basis is 3 times a week is robot vacuum, because it's completely topical. It doesn't do anything down below into the carpet. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, I'll hit it with the Hoover Lynx, and then once a month I'll do the traditional vacuum to get all that fine dust that settles down into the carpet, because you need that strong agitation, strong suction of a traditional to get all that stuff out that can aggravate up in here when you're walking around on carpet. So I think it's about 1,200 square feet or so that I vacuum, but there's furniture involved and stuff like that. But they had equal time, exact equal time, and I gave it 2 weeks without running a robot vac, without running any kind of vacuum. 2 weeks. That's 2 dogs, a child, and 2 adults. That's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of stuff that's going to get into that carpet, and I'm hoping that we can really see what each one of these things really pull up all the way down to the fine granules. So like I said, I vacuumed Lynx first, and I know that's topical and halfway through the carpet. And then I got the Shark ION Rocket. It's the one with like a pink design, and these sell anywhere between, I've seen them on sale for $99 on Amazon. Right now they're $199. Anywhere in that I feel like is a hot sale. But you'll need to buy another battery, I think. I think you'll always have that in the future, even whenever they finally perfect it. But you just pull it right out and it charges into itself, so that you can have this housed somewhere. And it is kind of disappointing that this doesn't come with a wall mount. It doesn't come with a wall mount. You get a couple little crevice tools with it. And that's kind of it. And it also has a very small bin here. So you'll have to dump it probably after every 2 rooms or so. So keep that in mind. And the corded one is the Shark Navigator. See, I keep the label on it so that you can see it. See that? This guy was like 60 bucks I bought it for. And it's got a shorter head, like it's got a narrow head. But that's to help, I mean, the motor on this thing. This was back in the race when Shark's like, we're just gonna suck the world and try to beat Dyson. And they made this thing and it just sucks ridiculous. So anyway, this will be this guy. So what I'm gonna do is dump out my Hoover links so we can see kind of what that guy gets, because this is $90 and worth every penny. So if you don't want to get the $200 and you're kind of doing in between vacuuming with a battery powered and not your traditional style, go with the Hoover links, because it is still a good buy. I really like it. So I'll leave links to all these for you to consider purchasing, because I think they're great. Anyway, what I'm going to do is dump these out on a white sheet of paper so we can really look through and see what types of material this thing sucks up. And I'll do them through each one of them, and we'll see kind of where Shark lithium stick vacs are in the world of trying to actually be better than your traditional plug-ins. You can kind of see all the topical things that it was able to get. And this guy, the design of it really gets clogged up. It got all the topical things and its bin's pretty good, but the little fine granules it still was able to get, but not a lot of the overall inside the carpet. And like I said, this is over the entire home that's carpeted, but it knocked everything topical out, which is hair, the wife's hairs mixed in here, guest hair, pet hair, lint. It wadded all that up, but you can notice that the fine amount, the granules, like the small things that really bother your nasal passages, it doesn't really do that great of a job. But it gives, to me, the Rocket ION a good place, or the ION Rocket, the Shark one, to stick vac a good starting position, because now we've gotten all the topical stuff out of the way, and we're going to see how deep can this lithium stick go against the traditional upright vac. One of the things worth noting with this is the bin's a lot smaller. All these stick vacs that are built like this, the bins are smaller. The battery sits in front of the hand, so you'll get fatigue. The brush rolls move so strong that you'll be fighting the brush rolls on the stick, so you actually get fatigue in the wrist over any of your traditional types where the weight's majority down there and you're rolling it across, and the weight's up here, so you're pushing and pulling and you're fighting this heavy duty brush roll in this thing. I mean, it beats that carpet, which is good. You want the agitation, and they may want to put a little more weight on the head of it, or you may want to tape a weight onto the head of it. That may work to keep it down onto the carpet so it can agitate and suck that. I may try that and see if that works. But there is a little fatigue from doing the whole entire home with this, and the battery life, like I said, is about 15 minutes. You'll get your last little blinky light about the 12-minute mark. But let's dump this off. You have to disconnect it from the neck of the vacuum itself to do this. So let's see what we end up with. And that's pretty well clean. There's something up in there, but you can see the inner workings of this thing. There's a little thing you have to keep clean, a little foam piece there you have to keep cleaned off, and this you can vacuum this out with another attachment from another vacuum cleaner if you want to keep it really clean. But everything else is housed up here as far as some of your filtration, and it's really all you got to worry about. And back down here is another little filter. Your handle may get a little warm right here because of the heat will pass through and exhaust out of the handle. But other than that, it's plain Jane, and let's take a look at what it did. All right, so let's just dissect. This is all deeper down. I mean, it's just silky, falling apart because it's been mashed together in the inside the vacuum there, but this is all deep down stuff. Nothing topical, not really. This is all down into the carpet. Maybe even looks like some down under where the carpet would be, where your traditional would get to. But this is pretty impressive that it's doing this. But can you imagine the other pile mixed in with this? You'd have to dump this thing 4 times before you're able to finish, so you'd have to keep an eye on that. But it looks pretty good. So let's just move this over to the side, and then we'll take a look at the traditional. Now let's see how well the Shark Navigator was able to do over Oof. It's a lot of dust up in there, caked onto the sidewalls from deep down in the dark places of the carpet. You don't really want to go, but you need to go. The Shark ION Rocket still gathering up some of the topicals that are maybe in between the bottom of the carpet and the top. So maybe that's not completely topical. A little topical, a little stuff that the links missed. But your traditional plug-in from the Shark Navigator just destroyed this over here. This is the stuff you may breathe in from running around on your carpet. It really aggravates your nasal passages. This, look at all that dust. Like, this is a handful of debris from deep. You can tell the feel of it. It's deep down into that carpet. But all this is all sand and dirt that sits at the very bottom of your carpet. And your traditional vacuum cleaner just destroyed that, just grabbed it all up, that Shark Navigator did. So if you're only thinking about, hey, I've got a lithium vacuum cleaner and I paid a lot of money for it, like a Dyson or even the Duo Sharks, you're getting this. You're not getting all this. And imagine, this has just been 2 weeks since I've done this. So can you imagine people that go years and just has this sitting underneath the bottom of their carpet? It's pretty bad. And this traditional vacuum is cheaper, way cheaper than all these battery power that does not do as good a job. So you still have to keep a traditional around. So grab one of these or something like this, just a cheaper traditional one, and keep everything maintained with the battery one. And then once a month or once every 2 weeks, run your corded one, and I think you'll come out okay if you have a lot of carpet. But this is nasty, and this is just 2 weeks, like I said. So I can only imagine people that's been doing things for years the wrong way. So make sure to stick traditional. Wow, I'm actually surprised that the Shark ION Rocket did so poorly at gathering up a lot of the dust from the bottom of the carpet area. I thought it was going to do more just from visuals outside of the tank, but or the bin, the dust bin, but you still got to have your traditional. You still got to keep that thing around. And like I said, that was like 60 bucks for that Shark Navigator traditional plug-in one. That's really old, but it's great. It does such a great job. And the oldie was up against the new tech, which they want you to replace your traditional with. And I have a feeling that there's a lot of overhead. It's a small footprint. It's a battery, small motor, small bin, a shaft, a head. There's a lot less work to manufacturing that. I feel that way, and I think pushing that future tech, I think it's early, but pushing that as your primary vacuum cleaner is putting a lot of money in Dyson's pocket and Shark's pocket, Hoover's pocket, and all these other pockets. But you still can't escape the need for traditional, because the competition for traditional was so heavy. Boom, boom, boom. The overhead got smaller and smaller and smaller as they're trying to compete against the enemies, that's out there. So it wasn't as lucrative, I don't think, as your lithium is now. I think it's a very lucrative market because there's only a handful in the game. So they can charge whatever they want. And Dyson was the first out the gate or so, and they are charging a lot. And so you can come in right behind them and just lower your price a little bit. And you're like, holy crap, look how much money we're making over the traditionals, which the overhead was small. So be careful shopping around, but if you want one, I still think the Hoover Lynx is a good buy at $90. Still to this day. The bend's a lot larger. The Shark Ion is strong, but there's a lot of fatigue in the hand. It can't set itself upright. Hoover Lynx can still do that, 90 bucks. And the batteries are still cheap, charging dock for that. And then, like I said, the traditional, 60, 70 bucks. We'll say 100 bucks because I'm not sure. I got a good deal, I know. So we'll just say $100 for the traditional, $100 for the lithium. That's $200. That's the price of the $199 Shark Ion Rocket. And you're not going to get as deep as the combo of those other two. So think smart. Be smart. Don't be grabby, future techie. Anyway, make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that dong so you get notified on the next product review, comparison, whatever it is video that I do. Thanks for watching. See ya.